Hi everybody, welcome back to Sketch to Sea. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the sailing triangle of compromise. Although it is a very good model to help you decide what is very important to you in your boat, whether it be speed, economy, or creature comforts and luxury, I do believe that the traditional triangular model is flawed. Let me tell you why. So in order to move forward, you need to know exactly what the traditional sailing triangle of compromise is. Essentially, you take an equilateral triangle and you have your three priorities at each end of the triangle. That would be speed at the top, economy at the bottom right, and then luxury at the bottom left. You then take your pencil, marker, finger, or whatever you choose to use, place it directly in the middle of the triangle, and you slowly move your finger around depending on what's important to you within the confines of the triangle. So if speed is very important to you, you go vertically and you get away from both luxury and economy. And if you start in the middle again and you want a happy compromise between speed and economy, you go horizontally to the right and you end up hitting that line there. But then again, you're far away from luxury or creature comforts. What's important that you learn from this is that everything in this triangle is a compromise. And as you move closer to one or two elements, you are always moving further away from another element. This forces you to compromise and decide what is most important to you within a vessel. So now that you understand how this triangle operates and exactly what it is, let me tell you what the major flaw that I see in this model is. My issue with this model is that it fundamentally assumes that each boat is manufactured and produced in the same way. In reality, that is definitely not the case. It fails to recognize that there are different manufacturers out there that dollar for dollar can give you more boat for your money. The word economy no longer has to be synonymous with cheap or lacking. What I feel is lacking in this model is value. There is no area within the confines of the triangle that give you value. It is not considered. Here, take a look at what I propose the triangle should look like. You'll note it's not even a triangle at all. It's actually a Venn diagram. In this diagram, you don't just have the 3 points. You have the 3 circles. You arrange them as such in this diagram here. You notice that all of the areas overlap, and in the middle, there's one area where they all overlap. So all 3 circles overlap in the one area. That is where value comes in. This Venn diagram I find is far more flexible and can accommodate both the sailing triangle of compromise and address your specific needs. Within this model, it allows you to concentrate on whatever extremes that you choose to. So whether that be speed and luxury, that's fine. The model accounts for it. But it also will show you when you're concentrating too much specifically on those 2 items that it takes you out of the value triangle in the middle. So it would also show you, if you're still focused on those 2 items, that you can do it within the whole value triangle as well. So a slight compromise doesn't mean you're fully missing out on every other aspect of what your priorities are in your own yacht design or build. Just one example how you can be pushed out of the value triangle relatively quickly. I'm going to say we're focusing mainly on speed and luxury. In order to be fast, you need to be really light. Well, the whole yacht is already built out of full carbon fiber. The only way to get lighter is to use high modulus carbon fiber or pre-preg carbon fibers. Those are 1.5 to 2.5x the cost for the same amount of material. Another example is going down from regular 4mm laminated glass all the way down to Gorilla Glass, which is almost half the width. Just on our yacht alone, that was almost a $250,000 upgrade that we chose not to do. With regards to your interior fit out and finish, you can also be pushed out of the value circle relatively quickly. This could mean that you're looking at coating your furniture with ostrich, or you need silk or cashmere carpets. These materials are drastically more expensive than the traditional cotton carpets or sunbrella fabrics or marine leathers that most boat builders put on the interior of their vessels. The beauty of this model and that whole value section is you're really not making much of a compromise. Carbon fibers become more affordable, and all of these interior finishes have also become more affordable. For example, Sunbrella fabrics look fantastic. You would have a hard time distinguishing them from some expensive high-end linens. Carbon fiber alone is amazing. It's structurally sound, it's extremely light, and unless you're doing some hardcore serious racing, there's really no reason for you to spend the extra amount of money going into the pre-pregs and the high modulus just to save a couple kilos here and there. That alone is the value, because you're getting the benefit of the finest material without having to spend the extraordinary amount of extra just to upgrade it a tiny little bit. Now for a couple of real-world examples. I simply went to yachtworld.com, looked up listings, and tried to find as many comparable boats as possible. And this was length and age. What I'm going to ask you to do is place each one of these boats first in the triangle and then into my model. Let's see where you come up. The first yacht is a 2018 Sunreef 58. It is a 100% fiberglass build listed for USD $1.8 million. Where did this end up in the triangle? And where did this end up in my diagram? The next boat to plot would be a 2019 Leopard 58. Again, this is a full fiberglass boat. It's listed for 1.5 million USD. Where did you put this one in the triangle? And where did you put this one in my diagram? Last is a 2018 Fountaine Pajot Ipanema 58. Again, this is a full fiberglass build, and it's currently listed for 1.3 million USD. Where did this yacht land in the sailing triangle of compromise? Where did it land within my own model? What decisions helped you influence where you put each one of these yachts within each model? For me, longevity plays huge into this, especially when you're dealing with a full fiberglass boat. There's so much flex between point to point of the catamaran that your interior elements, after a few months, even years, and if you've done a couple of hard passages, they stop to function the way that they were actually intended to. This could mean doors don't open and close, drawers don't open and close. Fundamentally, your hull shape has changed a little bit, and there could be a lot of interior cracking. This will lead to a refit much sooner than later. If you have to do that refit sooner than later, that is a large expense within a short amount of ownership period. This also would easily take it out of the value category. Now let me show you exactly where I placed these yachts.
On the left, you see all boats placed into the triangle. This gives you a general idea that the Sunreef is closer to luxury and the other two fall closer to economy. Moving over to my diagram, you'll note that you can be more specific in your placement. The Sunreef is clearly a luxury vessel. What it lacks in speed, it makes up for in improved finishes on the interior. It is also the most expensive out of the three. The Leopard and the Ipanema sit within the economy bubble as they are both full production yachts. But you can see that I've placed the Ipanema higher and closer to speed. This is due to the fact that it's known to be slightly lighter and therefore faster than its Leopard counterpart.
So that's enough of the used market. Let's check out the new market. We have a 2020 McConaughey Yachts 50-foot catamaran. It is partially carbon, which means it's structurally carbon on the wing deck and the primary bulkheads, but the rest of the yacht is made out of vinyl ester or e-glass. This is a well-outfitted, well-mannered, easy-to-handle sailing yacht. It is semi-custom, which means it only comes with a selection of different interior materials to choose from, and they're assembled in different packages, and you choose your package, and that's the yacht that they will build for you. I imagine if you go full custom and specify materials specifically, then it will get more expensive. This 50-foot McConaughey is listed at 1.95 million USD. Where did you put this yacht in the traditional triangle? Where did you put this yacht in my Venn diagram? What helped you make those decisions to put it there? Yes, it does get points for longevity, being structurally carbon, but I do take away some of the points on the not fully custom area. Here's another example of another brand new yacht. This might make you rethink where you place that McConaughey. 2020 HH catamarans built, 50 feet in length, so identical to the McConaughey, full custom, full carbon. So there is no vinyl ester or e-glass in this yacht. All the veneers you want out of a standard selection package. If you go to something super unique and rare, I'm sure that's an upcharge. But for this example, that's a differentiation between the HH catamarans and the McConaughey. That HH50 is listed for $1.7 million USD. Does that help you shift around where some of these other boats are? For me, it's certainly the only one that gives me the value, the speed, the luxury, the comfort. I hope you understand why I'm really excited about the HH catamaran being really, in my opinion, the only one that fits into the value area of the Venn diagram. After all, it is the builder that we are building, and I use this model to help select our manufacturer throughout this process. So with the longevity here, being a full carbon boat, we're not going to have to worry about that interior refit until you get sick of the actual interior yourself. Their standard veneer package is all real wood veneers. There is no Formica. And the only way they're able to do this is with new modern construction techniques and new technology that's available.
I just wanted to quickly sum up the fundamental issue that I have with this traditional triangle using these two new boats. HH technically falls in the middle of the triangle, but this is why the model isn't great. This makes it look like you lose out and are forced to compromise on all three elements, when in truth, it's the opposite. In the Venn diagram, you can see that placing HH in the middle means you get the best of all three elements, achieving the ultimate value in your build. In the triangle, when you place the McConaughey 50% between speed and luxury, it looks like the only element you start to compromise on is economy. This also isn't quite right. McConaughey is more expensive, and with the vinyl ester and carbon construction, you're heavier, which equates to slower sailing than the HH. And while McConaugheys are beautiful, you do miss out on some of the creature comforts that HH provides as standard for a lower price. The Venn diagram once again allows you to be more specific in placing the McConaughey, so as to demonstrate that you still get a fair amount of speed and luxury, but at a higher price point, which removes this boat from the value area.
I'd be happy to discuss your interpretation of these models. If you have any thoughts or comments, where did you place a couple of these vessels? I'd be happy to know. Let me know in the comments below. As usual, thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, please like, subscribe, and share. A little click from you goes a long way for me. And feel free to follow us along on our various social media, being Instagram and Facebook. If you have any direct questions, you can always reach out to me at sketchtosea@gmail.com. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.